First speaker after Father Kaabay is Dr. Miguel Fortes, a well-known marine scientist from the University of the Philippines, Marine Science Institute, and he'll be speaking on marine habitat and ecosystem uh, as part of the first part of our program on the impact on environment and livelihood. So, Dr. Mike Fortes.
Thank you, Howie. So I'm uploading now my slides. Um, Good morning to everybody. Uh, can you see the slide? That's my title slide. Can you see it? Can you see? Can everybody see the first
I can.
slide?
Yes, we
I can.
can see
Okay.
your slides.
Okay. Now I'll proceed. Now, whether the project is a go or not, I think we should really all move forward. And by that, I mean we really should just understand the ecosystems, their services, the impacts, so that we also can understand what we mean by coastal sustainability, and that is what we are after. It doesn't move. Okay, this is the next slide, and I'm showing you, and as this already have been shown, the smaller picture of the likely environmental impacts of the project. Note, I have indicated that the red bars, those are the proposed bridges. And then, of course, encircled the dotted lines to have the impact areas. But we cannot be very definite about the area, the primary or secondary impact area, because we don't have the data yet. But the most important thing to remember here is that for each of the bridges, for example, Bridge 1 above, I have indicated it here, the ecosystems and the species that will be affected are indicated. For example, for Bridge 1, coral, seagrass, sand beaches, seaweeds, and the other species. But then you go to Bridge 2, which is a long 1.42-kilometer bridge. That will affect coral, seagrass, beach, and the rest of the fisheries, and even the migratory iconic animals like dugongs, dolphins, and turtles. So for each of the bridges, they have specific ecosystems that will be affected. And note that for Bridge 3, you have a sizable area of mangrove that will be affected. Now, that was a smaller picture, but if you look at the bigger picture, you have the bridges project in not just on the ecosystems, the services, but then you also the imperatives. I mean by this, you have seen these ecosystems, and these are the components, processes, connectivity. But then you have the services, which we are really primarily concerned about: the fisheries, biodiversity, and so on down the line, including tourism and other livelihood forms. And then the well-being. This is the one that makes us human beings. If these services keep us alive, this human well-being make us human, because it concerns security, religion, and action. And of course, after that, you have also a sector that's impacted, what we call the current legal and social imperatives, like municipal planning, intensive social mobilization, EIA, the social impact assessment, and the corporate social responsibility, monitoring and standards, code of practice, and even environmental education. The thing about these current legal and social imperatives is they are already so much strained, so that the rate of compliance to them by the citizens are very low. So with the project, there's an added responsibility. Note also that I have indicated with chains connecting each, because they really are all interconnected. The principle of connectivity is the one that really is subtending all of what we're talking about. Here's what I mean by that figure. Ecosystem activity is the one vital component and process that creates the services we derive from ecosystems, but one we know much or more often tune. Impact on ecosystem, impacts on the services, impacts on our well-being, our lives, and responsibilities and commitments, including international commitments as in treaties or even in conventions. So if you destroy one, you actually are destroying the
Yeah. Okay. His audio, Dr. Mike Fortes's audio, kind of faded away. I don't know if is he still with us or oh, he got muted. Doctor Fortes, you're muted at the moment. I think he was accidentally muted. There you go. Yeah. Also, I'd
anyway.
like to remind you, Dr. Mike, we're under like very tight time limits, so kindly start wrapping up. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, you're seeing this light. If you're seeing this light, it's okay because I am giving you also what I'm trying to say. For example, how important is the project? That project, the Bridges project, is within the Dintuan Tourism Development Area, which we have chosen, I mean, internationally, as a model for tourism development in South Asia. It is also it possesses high level of protection. And then if you look at the table criteria, they're all connected to ecosystems.
Yeah.
And if
Okay.
you talk about how much it costs, somebody will also be talking about this, but just to give you an idea that the economic benefits people derive from ecosystems are huge. It runs to trillions of pesos, especially for those in Coron also, some ways. And then there is an added feature here, one thing that we consider as a novel ecosystem service, and that is mangroves and seals as the blue carbon ecosystems, very useful in mitigating climate change. And the values for these ecosystems are also given in comparison to the other ecosystems. Now, if we damage those ecosystems, this is how estimatedly it will take for them to recover. For coral reef, about 35 years. For mangroves, about 25 years. And for seagrass bed, about a year, but we don't have exact data on this. Oops, something is wrong.
Yeah.
There's this disturbance here. Who is this? I'm seeing a different slide, not from mine. Okay, I'll proceed. Okay, I think these are the important ones, core questions, especially for all stakeholders. One,
Sir Mike,
what is,
you're not
what is
sharing
the
your
rate?
slides po.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Are you seeing this slide? These are the core questions.
No, we're not. We're
What
not
is the
seeing any
rate and
slides,
scale of ecosystem
Dr.
change?
Fortes. Yeah, we're not seeing any slides.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
It is an animation. This is just number one. What is the
we're-
rate and the scale of ecosystem change the project will bring about? Two, what are the consequences of the change in the services of the ecosystems and the well-being of people dependent on them? Three, will there be options and actions to consider the cumulative effects of the project? Four, what actions will be made to conserve ecosystems and enhance their contributions to the well-being of the affected populations? And five, will the project be politically legitimate, scientifically credible, and salient or focused on user needs? So if we move forward, one, changes might bring gains, but at growing costs that threaten the attainment of development goals, because they will be degrading the environment, increasing risk, and then growing harm to poor people, especially poor people. Stakeholders must explicitly recognize that interactions between social and ecological systems underpin ecosystem services. We should realize that conservation should not be for economic gain, but for the maintenance of these services. Three, the loss or gain of services will not affect all people equally and must be understood in the context in which they occur. With the uncertain future of coastal ecosystems of the site, research exploring how the benefits of people change will be important to any local development effort. Also, we should explore the shortcomings of existing ICM and move towards ecosystem-based management and resilient thinking underpinned by the importance of sustainable ecological systems. So in conclusion, let's go beyond the sustainable development because especially for developing countries, the concept and approach of sustainable development is often not effective in assisting policy and practice fit for today's global and local challenges and objectives. There is the need to shift towards ecological sustainability as an alternative. This begins locally, which is an inclusive way to move forward. Thank you. But before I really leave this, just a reminder of what significance of today is. We are just renting space in this earth. So have you paid your rent? I just hope that we make every day an Earth Day. Thank you.